This video is going to explore the concept of the role on the wall, which belongs to a group of activities known as characterization, because it helps us understand more about our character. Now, creating a role on the wall is actually quite simple. It is simply a method we use as actors to find out more about our character, because the more we know about our character, the better we are to be able to perform that character. There are lots of different ways of doing roles on the wall. Here are some examples. We've got one over here where someone's written words in the middle of the character's name with some facts and questions around the outside. On this one we've got some describing words in the inside of the character, and on the outside we've got some questions. And this one down here is a little bit more organised on the computer, but on the inside there's some facts about the character, and on the outside there's some questions that the actor wants to ask about the character. I said before that the role on the wall belongs to a group of activities about characterization. Characterization is anything that will help you both get into and perform a character. And a role on the wall will help you do that. And when completed, it gives you, the actor, lots of information about how to act that character out. Here's an example of a role on the wall that I've just completed. This is for a character called Mickey. Now, I started off writing some facts that I know about the character Mickey on the inside of my character. So I found out 5 things: that he's 14 years old, that he likes a girl called Linda, but he doesn't really know what to do about it, that he comes from quite a tough home, he's a single parent family with several brothers and sisters. He was a twin, but he thinks that twin died when he was born. And at the moment, he's finding it quite hard at school. So these are some basic facts that I know about my character from reading the play. Now you can come up with loads more about the character that you're studying from your play or your book. But on the inside of the man, you need to write down all the facts you know about the character. And then on the outside, around the character, you want to write down all the questions you would like to ask that character. The things that you don't know about that character. So there's going to be 2 things that you don't know about that character. Firstly, there's going to be asking questions about what has happened to that character's past. Things that happened prior to the start of the story. Or things that happen outside of the play that you aren't directly told about by the actors or by the narrator. Something we also don't know is how that character feels about the actions that are taking place. So when you're thinking about what questions to ask, think about asking questions about the past, and ask about questions about how the character feels about an event. So here are my questions that I want to ask Mickey. I'm going to start off with quite a simple question. So how did he meet Linda? How did that actually happen? Where was it? When was it? Did they meet recently? Have they known them all their lives? Then I want to explore a little bit more about his home life. So, what is a typical day at home like, with all those brothers and sisters in such a small house? How is it a struggle? How do you get by? Does he get his voice heard? Perhaps he misbehaves because of that. And actually, you can start asking more complicated questions. Not just about how something happened, but how you feel about something. So I want to think about how he feels about his twin brother. I want him to reflect on, actually, how different his life might be if the twin brother was still alive, still living with him. How would his typical day at home change if he had a twin brother with him? I also want to find out about his school life. So, what is school like? How does he feel about it? And why doesn't he like it? What's gone wrong? What's not very good about it? What is the great thing about asking these questions is that the author of the book or the play doesn't actually tell us the answers. We need to figure them out ourselves, but we need to make sure that the answers fit with what we already know. So once we've got all this information about our character, all the facts that we know about the character from the play, and all the answers to our questions that we wanted to ask them, then we've got a pretty big and thorough understanding of the character that we want to portray. What can we do with that then, once we've done that? We can then go on to create a backstory for our character. Backstory is a pretty simple idea, really. It's putting into place all of our information about the character into a historical setting, so it becomes a timeline for that character. So here's Mickey's very basic backstory that I've got from my role on the wall. So obviously at his birth, his twin dies. Now I've decided that he meets Linda as a child, and they've been childhood friends throughout the book and the play. And then he starts secondary school, and that's where things started to go wrong. And then we've got to the point where we are in the story now, at the age of 14. And he's finding school hard, and he likes Linda, but he doesn't know how to tell her that. Now the reason why it's important to create a backstory is that the characters we are creating are real people, and the decisions and events that take place in the play are influenced by their past, just as our own lives are influenced by our own decisions and actions of our past. So understanding our characters' backstory helps us understand them, which in turn will help us to perform them.